Good afternoon and thanks for joining us right here on Midday, Kentucky. I was just having a little complaint just then that we need to change the opening of the show because that's the old set.
It is the old set.
Maybe someone who's listening in the background might listen to me today. But now I've just realised we can't change it for the month of December because today, after the show, there's an overhaul happening. Macy's are arriving and redecorating our set.
Fun! I can't wait to see the holiday
Christmas.
stuff.
Yes.
I sounded like Oprah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I'm 10 hours sleep last night, people. I feel sleepier today than I did yesterday with 4 hours sleep. What's the story with that?
I don't know. You just need to get back into your groove.
Hey,
that's all.
how are we all?
Hey, doing well this morning.
What an awful day outside today.
Yeah,
It just seems a bit gloomy. If it's winter, it's got to be cold.
I don't know. I think it feels pretty good. I had my last Girls on the Run practice this afternoon, so bittersweet.
Aww.
But I think we may
Do
have
you
a
actually
little bit of
run
rain.
with them every week? Oh, just a question. Nothing
I
back.
do.
All right, I want to ask you this question, everyone. Have you heard the phrase "treat them mean and keep them keen"?
No.
Oh, no?
No?
I've never heard it either.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a waste of a story. Though it sounds rough, psychologists discovered that a little fear of getting dumped can benefit a relationship and increase commitment. What that means is, treat them mean, keep them keen,
Yeah.
is be a little bit rough with your partner, and I don't mean physically, I mean, verbally or a little
Mentally?
bit. Well, actually, Katie, you're a little bit treat them rough, keep them keen type of thing.
I don't think so. I mean, this is a new phrase to me, but I don't think I.
Okay, so what it means is that the partner, the study is saying, I should say, that if you treat them a little bit mean, that they become more interested in you because of the fear that they might be alone or break up, or you might break up with them.
Oh, so these are people you're already in a committed relationship with? No, I believe that you shouldn't be playing games of hard to get or acting like you're not as interested as you are.
No, that's
you're
when you're
together.
in a relationship, as in together.
Yeah, so I think if you're together, you shouldn't be doing that.
I know quite a few people that treat their partners mean.
That just might be the way they are. I don't think you should play games.
Yeah,
either.
no, I don't think so.
Well, this is what the study is saying. Mind you, it's from Italy. Do you know what I mean? And they're saying that
Those Italians.
You end up falling.
Yeah.
You seem to be more committed in the relationship when you are treated a little bit more aggressively.
Well, you know what? It does surprise me when I see couples that are in a kind of a relationship like that, where one is, sometimes, most of the time, I should say, it's the woman that's a little bit mean to the guy, and it seems like, they're just hanging in there with it. I mean, honestly, that was kind of my parents. I mean, my mom was kind of aggressive toward my dad all the time, and he was just the most laid-back person in the world. He just let it, just rolled off of him.
Yeah, like duck on a duck's back.
Yes.
Water
on a duck's back, not a duck on a duck's back.
I've had too much sleep.
But what do you think? Does that work?
Look, I have to say to you that I think if someone treated me, it has happened a little bit mean. I guess I might have tried a little bit harder in the relationship.
Right.
But then when I hit the wall, it's like you're out the door before I come home from work.
Right, exactly, yeah. I mean,
There's
I think people have a limit.
Conversation. It's just sort of done.
Yeah, most people do have limits like that,
I
too.
think so too.
And I also, I don't think it's that bad that you sort of,
Push people.
Kick them up the backside a little bit.
Give me an example scenario.
About your relationship?
No,
What do you mean?
or of any. Like, what is an example of being mean, keep them keen?
I think talking about, let's go out on Saturday night.
Okay.
And your partner gets excited about it and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden you are saying, well, we're not going on Saturday night now, and, don't really give a reason or say that I'm going out with my buddies. Do you know what I mean? Or,
it would be over. I know. No way.
I'm still hanging in there.
My mom would just kind of nag at
Well,
my
and
dad.
I think
You know what
nagging,
I mean? Yeah.
I think nagging continually,
Yeah.
take the garbage out, or
okay, I
say
see
to
what
your
you're
wife,
saying.
you never cook properly, or...
Yeah, or my
Do you know what I
mom's
mean?
like, get out of my kitchen, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was always like,
I'd have a
Okay,
better,
I get
I'd have
it.
a better kitchen if you had a better job.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly, yes.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's move this along. Katie, you brought up a conversation about sexual consent and what the
Yeah.
difference of those terminologies, what they mean.
Well, this study is talking about women and men don't differentiate these terms of consent the same way. And this
Between
was,
men and women.
Between
Yeah.
men and women. And this was so interesting with so much in the news now of sexual harassment, sexual assault. The study says that men, now not all men, but a higher percentage of men interpret sexual interest as consent. If someone's flirting with you or making out with you, they interpret that as
They're ready to go.
they want to engage
Yeah.
in sex,
Wow.
and they think that is consent. And this was a survey, this was done with
Men
college
think
age
that.
men. There were 145, and they were given different scenarios and how they would react and if they interpreted that as consent. And they found that there was just a vast difference between what women interpret as consent and what men do. And a lot of that came from just sexual interest that women put off.
I think that's really interesting because number one, in college, I mean, it makes total
Yeah.
sense too. It really does. But wow. I mean, no wonder. Guys are, they're very aggressive. They can be very aggressive, and they think the littlest thing that a woman does. A woman could I've seen my sister-in-law before she got married. She just batted her eyes at a guy.
Yeah, but
he literally dove over the table to get to her. I was like, all she did was just kind of flirt a little bit, but he was in the zone. He was ready to go. And
Well, it could have been a long time between drinks. So, I don't think all men are like that.
Well,
Not
this
all
study
men.
is in no
Not
way,
all men.
but this isn't implying these men are acting or doing anything wrong.
No, I
this
know
is
that.
just them interpreting
interpreting it.
consent. So this is not saying men are all assaulting women or anything.
Right.
But I wonder how you approach that with, your boys are getting close to their teenage years
Yeah.
and getting into college. How would you talk to them about consent? Because there were times where they're saying, well, just because the girl, maybe she went to your room or she's making out with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Men interpret that as consent. I don't know.
I think it's
do you
really
worry about
I
things
think,
like that?
I do, and what is so fascinating, I feel like there definitely needs to be an intervention and an educating of men specifically, going into college or some sort of way that they can really understand that
I don't
there
believe
is a
that.
difference. between
I
the two.
believe most men know the difference between going from kissing to actual, and we're saying sex is intercourse, right?
Mm-hmm. They
Yeah?
know the difference.
They know the difference, and I don't think that men are so stupid that they don't know the difference. And I think it also, and I'll play devil's advocate here, is that it depends on how far the female is going when it comes to what we call foreplay before intercourse, right?
Right.
So how far is she just making out? Are they, clothes coming off?
Right.
But that's what
There's
they're
a
saying,
lot of
that
cues.
men are not interpreting those
signals the same.
signals. And so that's just what they're trying to bring up, that discussion
Yes.
of where is
But it can
consent.
also-
Well, I think it's
Ultimately-
up to the woman who says no.
Right.
We're not going that far.
But men, if these guys are interpreting that differently, it can get them into trouble without them even realizing
that
they're
that's
getting into
more of
trouble.
I got you.
And that's
Interesting.
what worries me. That's why I think there needs to be a lot more educating of guys about this topic. I mean, I really do. I think that's really interesting.
Okay. Well, tell us what you think. Head over to our Facebook page on Midday Kentucky. I assume you put it up there.
Yes, I
You did. Thank you, my dear. And now we're talking all about dogs and how they support you, not mentally, but also physically? Or?
Yeah, well, it's, they're looking at, what they said was that owning a dog can actually help support you. They love you, they care about you, and all of that makes you feel good, but it also helps to help your actual physical health.
Well, you got to
with
take them for a walk.
cardiovascular wise and things
Yeah.
like that. Yes, you're more physically active, but there's more to it than that. Dog ownership is also associated with reduced risk of cardiovascular disease and death. And what they looked at people living alone, and they also looked at people that live in
Well,
families.
here we go. Bash Troy and Katie again.
But no, if you love someone, maybe getting them a dog is a good idea because it can help reduce your risk of death by 33% and the risk of cardiovascular-related death by 36%. That's a third. That's a significant drop. And it also reduces the chance of a heart attack by 11%.
Yeah, because you're walking the dog.
You're more active,
Yeah.
but you're also, you're more engaged emotionally as well with animals as well.
Yeah.
But also, what was interesting was with the families, there were benefits as well, but not as much. The reductions were not as great. For instance, the risk of death was reduced only by 11% versus the 33%.
Yeah.
So there were still benefits, but it was less. Might be because the other family members are engaging with the dog also and not giving you, you don't have the full attention. Because when you live alone, you are responsible completely 100% for that dog. So you're taking them out in the morning, you're taking them in the evening, you're more active.
People ask me why don't I have a dog here, and I live in a what do you call it here?
An apartment?
A what?
Townhome,
An apartment
right.
without a backyard. Do you know what I mean? So I think you shouldn't have a dog unless you have a backyard.
Really?
So at least you can go out and run around.
Well, yeah, don't they have like a little running area for a dog or
No, I
anything
don't
like that? You can take them for walks and.
I've
take
never
them to
seen
the-
anyone walking around with a dog.
Really?
At the building.
Yeah.
Maybe they have. I don't know.
Right.
I don't look. As I say, I keep to myself.
Yeah,
I have
me
no
too.
idea what people do. Okay, have we got time for one more quickie? What was that, Sammy? Probably. Yep. Okay, I want to show you these little bits of technology that came up. I thought would be, they're saying will be obsolete by 2020. Just take a look
Okay.
at some of
Okay.
these. Road maps, because everyone
I love
uses
road
them.
maps.
Oh, you do?
I do. I love road
I
maps.
wouldn't even know how to use one.
Yeah.
What I don't like about GPSs or anything like that is you can't see the entire overall picture of point A to point B sometimes. You
that
only
doesn't
see a
matter,
little
though.
square. I love seeing
Okay,
that, though.
fax machines. We have several fax machines in this building. I don't even know how to use the darn thing.
Oh, I use fax machines.
Do you?
I had
Oh.
asked someone at a campground to fax something for me, and she was like, "What's a fax?" She
Well,
didn't
you're in
even
a
know.
campground. How's she
She
going to
didn't know.
fax?
Huh?
You're in a campground.
It was at the office.
Oh, right. Okay. CDs and DVDs. I love my DVDs. I had them all sent over in containers from Australia.
Yeah.
CDs, I think they're... No, the music CDs.
I don't own
Yeah.
any
I don't own
CDs
any
or
either.
DVDs.
Really?
DVDs, I do.
We love them.
Did
I
you know
hate
what
that
an
they're going by the
analog
wayside.
watch was?
A
I
what?
didn't know they called
Oh,
them an
yeah.
analog watch.
Oh, okay.
Like I collect a certain brand of watches, but I never wear a watch, and I don't know why I collect them now. Yeah, it's stupid. Really,
So what are
isn't
they
it?
replacing? It's going to be all
Well,
like
the Apple
the
Watch, that
invisible-
ridiculous Apple Watch, or you've got the watch on your iPhone thingy.
I like wearing
Do you know
them.
what I
Though.
mean?
They're pretty.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and what about the next one? Checkbooks. Who's got checkbooks nowadays?
I do.
Oh.
I don't.
Oh, yeah. You don't even get them in Australia. They don't even give you a checkbook.
That is so
when you have a
crazy.
bank account.
Really?
I know I have one here.
Yeah.
But
Well, they don't just
Yeah.
give it to you here.
I mean,
You have
I
to
don't
order
use
it.
them very
It doesn't
often.
just come with
Oh,
your
I thought
account.
it did.
Yeah.
And I think there's one more, headphones with cords. I have to say I like the cords because I chew on them. Yeah. Is that, and then charger cables. Apparently there's now all these,
Cool.
what do you
Like
call them?
stations where you
Yeah.
set it right into a
Yeah.
station or something?
All right, everyone, we're going to head over to our break. Coming up next, it is all about Genfolio Portrait Arts, and we're going to find out how you can give the gift of photography this Christmas. Plus, be sure to stay tuned to see this one being put through a workout with Lydia. It's always a good day when this happens. It's Thursday, everyone. You're watching Midday Kentucky.